Thank you for listening to the show on Really Big Something Channel. November 9th, 2017.
The Kuhner Report, presented by Kelly Financial Services. This is the Kuhner Report.
Okay, my friends, jam-packed show for you today at 1:05. You don't want to miss it. The media is now caught lying about Rand Paul and why he was attacked. We're going to have the breaking news on that. Also, civil war in the Republican Party. The Democrats now believe they are within reach of regaining control of Congress. What do the Republicans need to do to stave off a Democratic majority next year and the possible impeachment of the president? At 2:05, we were ahead of the curve yesterday. It's now official. In the wake of the phony vote, the stolen vote, on behalf of Sanctuary City in Salem, now the liberals want all of Massachusetts to become a sanctuary state. We're going to discuss that at 2:05 and at 2:35. Yep, you knew it was coming. First George Washington, then Thomas Jefferson. Now it's the national anthem. The NAACP and the left now say the Star-Spangled Banner is racist. Get rid of it. But first, this is now the left's sex abuse scandal that afflicted the Catholic Church. What you're now seeing is the implosion, not just of liberal Hollywood, but of the liberal elite media and many within the Democratic Party. A sex abuse scandal, including a pedophilia ring, is now being exposed in front of our very eyes. And it is happening, obviously, at its epicenter in Hollywood, but it's reaching into the liberal elite media, into the Democratic Party. And yesterday, one more major brick fell. I feel extremely bad for Heather Unruh, the former anchor. She seems to me like a very nice woman. She finally has broken her silence about her son. And here is now the absolute latest. According to what she stated yesterday at a high-profile press conference, her 18-year-old son, now he's of age, this is an important point, he is 18 years of age, was at a restaurant bar, the Club Car restaurant on Nantucket last summer. Apparently, he bumped into the actor Kevin Spacey, House of Cards. He's also a movie star. And like many 18-year-olds, he was, in her words, starstruck. And so, of course, he couldn't wait to speak with Kevin Spacey. Kevin Spacey said, hey, let's have a couple of drinks. And according to Heather Unruh's own admission, her son lied and said he was of legal age. Not 21, he's 18. And so Spacey allegedly gave him drink after drink after drink until he, softened him up enough. And then, according to her, he then went in for the proverbial kill. He then grabbed his hands, stuffed him in his pants, and groped him. And as she put it, her son was sexually assaulted. He tried to turn away. Spacey would not let him turn away. Her son, as she put it, was an 18-year-old straight male who was absolutely shocked, stunned, and utterly violated by what took place. As Spacey tried to get more aggressive with him and he tried to fend him off, Spacey said he had to go to the bathroom. When he left to the restroom, a woman who so far remains unidentified rushed up to the 18-year-old son, felt extremely bad for him, and said, get the hell out while you can. And so apparently he ran out of the restaurant bar. Spacey wanted him to attend an after-hours party, and he didn't want to, obviously. He then ran out of the Club Car restaurant, apparently straight to his grandmother's house, called his mother, told her what happened. She came down to Nantucket, and then they debated about filing an official complaint. According to her, her son was so humiliated by what happened to him. He had been so embarrassed and also was in fear because Kevin Spacey is a very powerful Hollywood actor that they decided not to file an official complaint, even though she talked about it with the Nantucket sheriff. This is not Kevin Spacey's first run-in with a minor or whatever, an 18-year-old. Let's just say having inappropriately sexually assaulting a young person. A 14-year-old actor has accused Kevin Spacey of having sexually assaulted him. Spacey has admitted that he has behaved inappropriately. He apparently has come out as gay, using that somehow as some kind of a defense. I don't know how that is, but he's trying to use it as a defense. And then he checked himself into the same treatment, the sex addiction treatment center, that apparently Harvey Weinstein checked himself into. And now Heather Unruh is demanding that charges be pressed against Kevin Spacey for assaulting her son. She wants justice, and she wants the world to know that Kevin Spacey is a serial sexual predator. Roll it, Brittany.
Kevin Spacey bought him drink after drink after drink. And when my son was drunk, Spacey made his move and sexually assaulted him. I want to make it clear, this was a criminal act. The room at the club car was very crowded. It was dimly lit. Spacey stuck his hand inside my son's pants and grabbed his genitals.
Look, there's no question about it. I believe her. Obviously, everybody in this country is innocent until proven guilty, but I believe her. I believe her. I believe her son. And let's cut to the chase. Okay? Nobody else wants to say it. I'm going to say it. What is it with liberals, the left, and sexual assault and sexual abuse? Because it's not just Kevin Spacey, big liberal. Harvey Weinstein, big liberal. Ben Affleck, big liberal. Oliver Stone, big liberal. I could run down the whole list of prominent actor, prominent director, a prominent person in Hollywood who all of them are huge leftists, huge supporters of the Democratic Party, huge liberals who go on about the war on women, who go on about Donald Trump and the famous Billy Bush tape, and yet we're not talking locker room talk. These guys are literally grabbing, in this case, either men or women by the pee. I guess it works both ways. By the pee. He's grabbing both of them by the pee. By the pee. And I'm telling you right now, I said this a couple of weeks ago, this scandal is not going to end. This scandal is bigger than the sex abuse scandal in the Roman Catholic Church. It's bigger. Because I think it affects almost everybody in Hollywood. And it's not just Kevin Spacey. It's now elite media. It's now come out, listen to this, that the top editor at NPR, that's right, NPR, National Public Radio, we love Elizabeth Warren. We hate Donald Trump. We're so sophisticated. We're NPR. I mean, all of them. I'm with her. This is Hillary's time. Let's break the ultimate glass ceiling. Going war on women. Binders with Mitt Romney. Binders. Oh, when he hired women, women would apply like that was the custom in the 70s and 80s. And along with your CV and resume, you'd send a picture in a binder. Oh, sexism, degrading, demeaning to women. This top editor has now been accused by at least 3 female employees of inappropriate touching and outright sexual assault and sexual harassment. It's not just NPR. MS Left BC, CNN, the New York Times, the Washington Post, top editor or top reporter, Mark Halperin being one of the key examples on MS Left BC. This guy couldn't stop groping women. There's at least half a dozen now and counting. And yet they're the ones that keep lecturing us about the war on women. Republicans are the ones who are assaulting women. Donald Trump, the Billy Bush tape. And they're the ones, notice, they project all of their sins upon their opponents. Look at the Democratic Party. Where do you want to begin? Anthony Weiner? Carlos Danger? Ted Kennedy? Good old Teddy? Bill Clinton? Sexually assaulting and raping women left, right, and center, and everybody looked and turned the other way. Now it's Kevin Spacey. And so I think the key to this case is going to be that unidentified woman. And this is who Heather Unruh is now appealing to. The woman that walked up to her son and said, he wants you to, he obviously wants you to go to an after-hours party. Get the hell out. Leave. Leave now. Run. Just run. Because she obviously witnessed it. She saw it. She intervened, and she helped, I think, maybe even save this poor kid from getting raped, and told him to get the hell out. Now, a couple of points need to be said, and then I want to open it up to you, the great audience of Kuhner Country. 617-266-6868 is the number. What is to me incredible is that the liberal media knew about the crimes of Hollywood for decades. Everybody knew Harvey Weinstein. Everybody knew what Ben Affleck was up to. In fact, even now that we know that Ben Affleck has been accused by numerous women of sexual harassment, caught on tape, grabbing a woman's breasts, feeling her up, Elizabeth Warren still will not return the money. They still will fundraise and hobnob with them. It's the same thing with Kevin Spacey. Everybody knew what kind of a monster this guy was. In fact, when you look at him, honestly, doesn't he creep you out? I was telling my wife for years, I said, I don't care what people say about House of Cards. I never watched that show. I don't care for that show. But I said, I take one look at this guy, and I'll tell you the one word that comes to my mind. Demonic. Diabolical. I mean, he looks creepy. He looks, frankly, like a pervert. And when you're 18 years of age, and we've all been 18, you're young, let's be honest, you're still immature, you're very impressionable, you see a big Hollywood celebrity or a big Hollywood star, you kind of feel guilty because you want to have a couple drinks, so you lie about being underage, about your legal age of drinking, so you don't tell him he's 18, you tell him you're 21, so you kind of feel almost like you're partly responsible for what happened. He takes advantage of you, and when you're a straight man, to have another guy, forgive me, assault you the way he did, it tears at your masculinity. It just does. It shatters your sense of yourself. And it makes you question your own sexual identity. It makes you question whether you asked Kevin Spacey to do it. This poor boy must be an absolute wreck right now. Psychological wreck, emotional wreck, physical wreck. I don't know if Heather Unruh listens to this show or not, but Heather, if you are, you go and press charges and hope that the police throw the book at this pervert, and you sue him for every penny that he's got. Because you know what he did? He violated the innocence of your young boy. And nobody has the right to do it. Not even big shot Hollywood liberals. 617-266-6868. Your reaction next. 1226 here on the great WRKO. Okay, let me ask you a double barrel question. Do you believe Heather Unruh's accusations that Kevin Spacey sexually assaulted her 18-year-old son at a restaurant bar on Nantucket? And two, is Kevin Spacey finished? Is his career over? And should he go to jail? Mark in New York, you're up first. Go ahead, Mark.
Jeff, thank you for taking the call, and thank you for exposing this very, very open secret in Hollywood. Whenever a Christian priest is caught up in something, it's like the world ended. But the moment there's someone who's a liberal or an actor that's been going on for the past few decades, nobody wants to say anything about it. But, Jeff, their solution to this problem is not going to be to clean up the LGBTQ community. It's not going to be to get rid of all the excesses of Hollywood. What they ultimately want to do is lower the age of consent to like 12 years old, Jeff.
Well, Mark, they're trying it here in Massachusetts, not to 12. They're going for 14.
Oh, God.
They're trying. I mean, I broke this story. We're going to follow it up. But anyway, thank you for that call. No, the Massachusetts legislature is now pushing a law. It was voted 27-10 in favor in the state Senate to lower the age of sexual consent between a minor and an adult from 16 to 14. And I don't want to get too graphic, but it has to. They want to legalize child statutory rape. And if you think Monica Lewinsky, forgive me, when you think of, let's say, two homosexual men having sex, right? If you do that with a 15 or a 14-year-old, it's fine. It'll be legal in Massachusetts. Unless we say enough is enough. So it's already happening, Mark. Now, I agree with you. In Europe, they're pushing for 12. They ultimately want to go to 12, but they're going to do it like a salami. 18 to 16, now 16 to 14, 14 to 12. So pretty soon, they're going to put laws on the books that you can't even charge Kevin Spacey with. If this guy had just waited another 5-10 years, he could come to Massachusetts and it would be all legal. Okay, it wasn't consensual. Okay, I'm sorry. But if it was somehow consensual, he can have him as young as 14 now, which was the age, by the way, of the actor that he sexually assaulted in Hollywood, allegedly. So you see the kind of Sodom and Gomorrah the liberals are trying to create for our society, for us, and for our children. Honestly, it's sick. David and Shirley. Go ahead, David.
Hey, Jeff. Thanks for taking my call.
My pleasure.
I just wanted a quick second to I was just listening to NPR, and the show that just precedes yours. And they basically were equating Trump's locker talk, and that the women that came out making those accusations and so forth, but they were basically equating what happened to Heather Unruh's son, and the reason why he came out, because the Trump controversy enabled people to come out against this. So in other words, they were basically equating what happened to this young boy because of Trump.
Yeah, Trump's fault. It's Trump's fault.
Yeah, I just can't believe everything is Trump's fault through the liberal eyes. And it's utterly disgusting, because Heather Unruh, you could tell by the tears falling from her eyes that she was devastated. Her son was devastated, and how the liberals could basically exploit that for a political reason is the most disgusting thing anybody could ever do. I mean, this is not a left-wing, right-wing incident. I don't want to go there, although there is a lot to discuss regarding that. But to have NPR use this to attract Trump and equate that action with Trump is the most disgusting thing I could ever imagine coming from NPR radio.
Great call. Honestly, great call. But look, the left has now become unhinged. I'm choosing my words very carefully. They have become unhinged with the victory of Trump. In fact, yesterday was the 1-year anniversary, right, of Trump's election victory, his historic, shocking upset. I swear to you, liberals across the country went out into the streets and screamed at the sky. They were yelling at the sky. This is Trump derangement syndrome. They want to equate what a guy says on a tape, bragging about groupies, to what an actor really did to an 18-year-old. It's sick. For the latest, let's go to Jackie Murphy.
The victim, my son, was a starstruck, straight, 18-year-old young man who had no idea that the famous actor was an alleged sexual predator.
12:38 here. That, of course, is Heather Unruh, the former anchor at her news conference yesterday at a hotel in Boston. You can feel just the pain in her voice. You can feel her sincerity. I believe her. I believe that her son did complain to her right away. She says that she actually spoke to the sheriff on Nantucket, and he urged her to file charges, but her son refused, saying he was utterly ashamed of himself. He was humiliated, embarrassed. He also felt a great amount of fear because Kevin Spacey has a lot of pull, a lot of influence, and so they decided not to say anything. However, with all of the other stunning allegations now coming out, not just about Harvey Weinstein, Ben Affleck, and all these other Hollywood stars and celebrities, but also Kevin Spacey himself. A 14-year-old has now said he sexually assaulted him. Other people, 15, 16, 17-year-old actors, say he sexually assaulted him. Kevin Spacey says he has a problem. He came out as gay, trying to use that as a defense. Then when that blew up in his face, he checked himself into some kind of a sex addiction rehab center. Look, I believe her. I don't believe him. Just my opinion. 617-266-6868. I want to read a text from somebody that I respect a lot. I think we disagree on this, but he's always a very insightful thinker, and he's a big fan of the show. And I just want to get the other side, and then we can take more of your calls. 617-266-6868. Jeff, imagine for a moment that the Kevin Spacey Nantucket story is false. What if her son is gay, and he is simply trying to cash in on the sex abuse frenzy? I am not taking Kevin Spacey's side on this, but were there witnesses? Was the kid so traumatized that he couldn't just walk away? If he is underage, why was he drinking? Who allowed him to drink? Who served him? Didn't he work at that restaurant? Something doesn't add up. And poor Heather Unruh seems caught in the crossfire between what the facts are and what did or did not happen. 617, my understanding is that he did lie. She admits that. He lied. He said he was 21 when he was, in fact, 18. So, yes, in that sense, he's partially to blame. He should not have been drinking, and Kevin Spacey kept plying him with drinks. But let's be honest. You were 18. I was 18. 18-year-olds say and do stupid things. I mean, they just do. It doesn't justify assaulting the guy and grabbing him, forgive me, in the crotch. Now, number two, apparently there is a very big witness, and that is the woman that ran up to him, saw what Kevin Spacey was doing when he went to the bathroom. He was trying to convince him to go to an after-hours party. Spacey then went to the restroom, and I guess he had too many drinks. He was kind of stumbling, the boy, her son, and she said, "Get out, get out, get out." And he ran out of the restaurant. So Heather Unruh is demanding that this witness, they don't know who she is, but she saw it, she witnessed it, she even counseled and advised the son, her boy, to run out. If she goes public and corroborates their story, Spacey is finished. It's over. Ann in Middleborough. Go ahead, Ann.
Yeah, I absolutely think that this is Donald Trump's fault. He created an atmosphere. A year ago, we all went into that voting booth and voted for him, and he created an atmosphere where we're allowed to say the truth. But that being said, I really think that we owe the Obamas a bit of gratitude for this, because I truly believe that somebody big took down Harvey Weinstein. People were complaining about him for years. Okay, it had to be somebody big, and the timing of Obama's daughter being his intern and then him getting this huge hit and all of a sudden he's this horrible person. I truly believe that the Obamas are behind the fall of Weinstein, which has just created this whole domino effect.
Ann, please don't drop her. Look, we have no evidence about Obama doing anything with Weinstein. In fact, we have the exact opposite. He was a big friend of Harvey Weinstein. He was very late to condemn Harvey Weinstein. But I'm just stunned that you would say Kevin Spacey sexually assaulting an 18-year-old boy is somehow Donald Trump's fault.
No, it's not Donald Trump's fault. It's Donald Trump's fault that people are coming out of the woodwork now and making these allegations where we couldn't a year ago.
Oh, so you're saying that I don't follow you. You're saying Donald Trump is giving people the courage to speak out?
Yes, absolutely. Because what happened in that voting booth last year was we all realized that we weren't the only one, okay? That everybody voted for him. And it was stunning to the Democratic Party, but it was also stunning to the people that voted for him that he won. Okay, it gave us some hope.
Okay, no, and I get your point. No, I'm sorry. Okay, I get your point. I kind of misunderstood you at first, but so what you're saying is Trump has given people permission to now just speak the truth and speak from the heart.
Absolutely.
Interesting.
Okay.
That's a fresh angle. I never even thought of it. Thank you for that call, Ann. No, look, I got to be honest with you. I think what's emboldening people now is the fall of Harvey Weinstein. In all honesty, I think Harvey fell. He was, in a sense, the top mafiosi in Hollywood. And you had all of these actresses come out, all of these actors, and it's like the church sex abuse scandal. It is so rampant, it is so prevalent, it is so deep, it is so widespread that once you open the lid, it all comes out. And so they're falling like dominoes. And then the big one was Kevin Spacey. Remember I said on the show a couple of weeks ago, I said there's going to be a very big Hollywood actor that's going to be exposed. And the rumor was it was either going to be Tom Cruise, Kevin Spacey, or Russell Crowe. And it ended up being Kevin Spacey. And I think now there are so many people who've come out, very similar experiences, by the way, in their teens. He's technically 18, but 14, 15, 16, 17, 18-ish. And he was assaulting them. And Hollywood, for decades, turned a blind eye. And now, and even Heather Unruh admitted this, when she saw all these other people come out against Kevin Spacey, she talked to her son, he's now a college sophomore, said, we got to tell our story. Someone's got to put the final nail in this guy's coffin. And if that witness, who apparently allegedly saw everything, if she comes out and corroborates, I don't see how he doesn't go to jail. And I mean, not just for a couple years, for a very long time. Charlie in New Hampshire. Go ahead, Charlie.
Hey, Jeff, how come you're not mentioning Roger Ailes, Eric Bolling, Bill O'Reilly, who've all been proved to be perverts themselves?
Well, I mean, let's take it one at a time. Eric Bolling, nothing has been proven. He just lost his job.
He did. Yeah, he didn't come out and say that he didn't send those pictures.
Well, no. In fact, Charlie, the real story is, yeah, those pictures would have been leaked by now if they really had that kind of damning evidence. No, Charlie, to be very honest with you, I mean, if you're interested in the truth, the sad story is that the rumor is, and I believe it, I got to be careful how I phrase this, but I have friends at Fox. Let me just say this. Eric Bolling's son committed suicide. And
because of that.
Well, yeah, but well, I don't know. The rumor is that the son played a practical joke and that he took pictures of his own, forgive me, genitalia, and sent it off on his dad's phone. And so when his dad's career blew up because of it, he was so racked by guilt, he ended up killing himself. So the fact of the matter is, bowling has not bowling. Yeah, but it's let's put it this way: it's a widely believed rumor. So
Okay, how about?
hold
how
on.
about the
So
30
nothing has been
how about the
believed about
$32
Eric
million
Bowling.
per-
Hold on. Let me run down the list. Now, as for Bill O'Reilly, look, you're right. He has signed a lot of settlements. The $32 million one with Liz Wheel. Whoa. That to me raised a lot of eyebrows. So we'll see. He vigorously denies it. We'll see. Roger Ailes is guilty of sin. The point, Charlie, is not that conservatives don't engage in sexually depraved behavior. That's not the point. The point is that the left are the biggest hypocrites on the planet, because they're the ones who go on about women's rights. They're the ones who go on about the war on women. They're the ones who go on about Donald Trump being this huge, big sexual predator because of a tape that he made with Billy Bush.
No.
So, hold on. So, if you live in a glass...
Accuse the president.
People in...
16 women.
Hold on. Charlie, I'll get to you in a second. People in glass houses shouldn't throw stones. That's the point.
Well, 16 women accused the president of assaulting them.
No, they didn't press any charges.
He admitted it.
He didn't admit it. No, he didn't admit it. Look, Charlie, look, I don't want to debate reality with you. All of those women later recanted their charges. If they were sexually assaulted, sue them. If they were sexually assaulted, press charges. But none of them have. Now, Paula Jones did. Kathleen Willey did. Juanita Broderick did. Jennifer Flowers did. So when it came to Bill Clinton, these women wouldn't stop. They put their names out. They sued the president. They wanted the president to be charged. So they were willing to put their name and their pen to paper. All of these women have disappeared, every single one of them. In fact, numerous witnesses came out and completely refuted everything that they said. That's point number one. Point number two, on Donald Trump, that was pure all it was him talking about groupies. He didn't admit to anything. If you listen to the tape, here's what he said, okay? What he said was, these groupies are so insane that they will let you grab them by the you-know-where. Now, if you know anything about groupies, ask rock stars, ask Hollywood celebrities, ask anybody who works in the entertainment business. What he said was 100% true. In fact, let me tell you, just to corroborate, I was at the White House. I used to always attend the White House Correspondents' Dinner. The big Hollywood actors would always show up. This was under Obama. One of the big ones that was a regular was George Clooney, okay, the famous actor. I saw it with my own eyes. Oh, my God. The way these women just threw themselves at him. I mean, they threw themselves at him. I even came back to my wife and I said, you know, in a very sick, perverted way, I don't even think these guys must find sex interesting, because there's not even a conquest. It's sort of like, okay, pick her. Okay, yeah, she'll do me. Yeah, okay, her. I mean, there's no thrill of the chase. There's no romance. There's no sexual tension. There's nothing. They just threw themselves on this guy. It was sickening. So I'm sorry, but, you know, it's a disgusting way the way he said it. It was vulgar the way Trump said it. But it's true. Tom in New Jersey. Go ahead, Tom.
God bless you, Jeff. Red, white, and blue. I need about 90 seconds. I have a feeling I don't have it, so I'll start off with the most important thing.
No, you got it, Tom. Go ahead. 90
thanks,
seconds.
Man.
It's
I got
yours.
3 points.
Go.
I can knock them all out. First of all, I listened to your memorial show last Saturday for Bill Kelly. You know, Jeff, you and Grace, that was so touching. And Bill Jr., boy, oh boy, that boy might be president someday. You know, Jeff, I went to Mass on All Saints Day, and it's really coincidental. The priest was talking about how almost politically correct it's been to say we're all sinners. He says it's time for us to talk about being saints. And you know, Jeff, you really highlighted how I think Bill Kelly was a living saint. His numerous great works were just tremendous. And I think if we're going to turn this country around, we're going to need a lot of Bill Kellys. And I think you and Grace are one of them.
Oh,
but
thank you. Thank you, Tom.
Oh, you're most welcome, Jeff. You're most welcome. My second point is Hollywood has been a depraved, decadent society for many, many years, probably our entire lifetime, Jeff. I think the chickens are coming home to roost. Weinstein bit the dust because I think he's not bringing home the bacon anymore. Hollywood is going bankrupt. Their movies are going bust. And the mask is coming off, Jeff. We now realized, most people, the common person now realizes how decadent Hollywood has been and is. My last and final point, Jeff, Robert Mueller is behaving like a rogue prosecutor with an agenda on a witch hunt. I compare him to Michael Nifong in the Duke rape case. It's time for him to be fired, and Jeff Sessions, I agree with you, has to go.
Amen, brother. Amen. Couldn't have said it better myself, Tom. Arthur in Chestnut Hill. Go ahead, Arthur.
Well, I echo what Tom said, especially about that stirring memorial that you did for.
Thank you,
Bill,
Arthur.
We won't see many like Bill. Well, we hope to. And in that spirit, we'll be donating $1,000 to the Disabled Veterans Fund tomorrow when you have your telethon.
Thank you, Arthur. Thank you, Arthur. I've got 30 seconds. Go.
Well, listen. Now I think we know why they want those transgender those bathrooms.
Oh, touche! Arthur, touche. Drop the microphone. Drop the mic. Okay, coming up next, the ultimate in liberal hypocrisy and what really happened to Rand Paul.
The voice of Boston is you. 680 WRKO Boston, 93.7 WEEI HD2 Lawrence, Boston. It's 1 o'clock.